Again, my name is Roberto Gutierrez. It's Bob if you can't roll your R, but appreciate being here today. I am your Southeast region advocate and champion, but I don't do it alone. So I want to ask the Southeast region folks that are here today to stand up so that during the night or afterwards you can all maybe talk with them. We've got Bumi Olapo, Ben, Mohammed, Reem Shaheen over there, Sean, Salim, and Jeff Bowen. So thank you, Southeast. Michelle, and then Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. Absolutely. So WISDOT is committed to fostering an environment rooted in IDEA. That's integrity, diversity, excellence, and accountability. You will see that in this presentation because the people that have worked on this project have brought every one of those values to this project. So again, thank you for the opportunity to present the East-West to you. I've been here in the past, talked about the North-South and the zoo. It's been a while, so forgive me if I'm not as polished as Brandon was. He did a really nice job. Since 2012, we've been working on this project. 2 recorded decisions. Finally, we're here. Finally, we're here, and we are really excited. And I'm going to pick on Tyler a little bit. He asked me, "Hey, has the project started?" And I was like, "Have you driven the East-West lately? We're down to 2 lanes in each direction for 180,000 people going back and forth." So yes, we have started. Along the way, we've had a lot of challenges and opportunities. We listened and talked to the advocates on both spectrums of this project. But most importantly, DOT kept our core values in place. We right-sized a few elements, so we're here. And so, am I using the clicker or? Okay, thanks. If I can do. There we go. All right, so what are we going to talk about today? Again, we're going to talk a little bit about the overview of the East-West corridor, a little bit about where we're at right now with the West Leg and our East Leg early projects, our project communications, which is so totally essential to this project, and most importantly for this crowd, DBE participation and what we've done in the past and what we're going to do in the future. So what's the project, right? It's 3.5 miles total reconstruction between 70th Street on the west end and 16th Street on the east end. So basically, we've made billion-dollar investments in the Zoo interchange and the Marquette, and we're linking that all up. It includes the stadium interchange and 5 local interchanges within that footprint. Why? Purpose and need, right? Hey, COVID slowed us down a little bit, but traffic's back. It's anywhere between 160 to 180,000 cars. People going to work, back and forth, going to the Brewers game, the Bucks game, and so that's one of the reasons why traffic. And we've got deteriorated pavement. These are vintage 1960 design and constructions. And so we need to get out there, and we need to get out there now. The safety element I talked about, one of our core values here at the DOT. We have an average crash rate, which is 2 or 3 times higher than the statewide. So we need to get out there. I talked about our core value of safety, right? And we've got a successful track record on the mega program down in the southeast. As you can see, the Marquette, we've seen 32% fewer crashes since that opened up. The zoo, 27%, and then the north-south, over 30%. We expect that same type of success on this project. So, a little bit about the timeline, and so I hear a lot about 7 years. Really? Well, yeah, it's complex. It's really hard to do. You're in a really tight area, and our mantra of keeping downtown open for business is really important to everyone. Major League Baseball, Major League Basketball, Summerfest, Northwestern Mutual, Milwaukee Tool, all those businesses downtown, and then out to the west in Waukesha and all those businesses. So keeping traffic moving while constructing this is pretty difficult and complex, and that's basically why the 7 years. It's a pretty big program. This overview is just at a glance, and so what you're looking at is nearly $1.3 billion of construction dollars. The program itself is about $1.8 billion, but the construction element of this project, you can see in the blue, that's our west leg, and that's been let already, and then toward the east side, we've got the early east leg in the orange. We've got a lot to do, right? We've got the purple, the red, and the yellow, and there's some dates on there. So that takes us out to 3033 for delivery. So what's next? Yeah, so we let the west leg and the early east leg, but we got another $750 million worth of work. We've got an early grading project. We've got the east leg itself. We've got the stadium interchange, and then Wisconsin 175 with the new DDI in there. So, a little bit about what are some of the elements and what it's going to look like. There's some pictures of how we've been coordinating with Milwaukee Brewers and Milwaukee Valley Partners on some elements. This is 26th Street and St. Paul. It's a structure, very complex right now. It's what we call a lid. It's very similar, but you probably, to the Mitchell interchange, you probably never even think about it, but you are driving over a structure as you drive through that. So those are some of the design elements. Let's talk a little about construction. So the West Lake, what are the key components right now? So we're going to be expanding the West Lake 4 lanes in each direction. We're going to be reconstructing Hawley Road and 70th and 68th Street interchanges. Along with that, we've got this little section between several cemeteries, and what our amazing engineers accomplished was to fit this footprint within that and not disturb one grave site and honor those that are in those areas. So how do we do that? 11-foot lanes. So yeah, for a little bit, for 17 seconds, you'll be driving through that skinning up area. You probably won't even feel it, and then it'll widen out again to full 12-foot lanes with shoulders and everything else. So yes, Tyler. Over the winter, we've started construction. You've seen the median crossover work. It's actually been completed, and some of the storm sewer work near the cemetery. On the early east leg. Oh, let's go back a little bit. So there's some of the median work and things. You can see how tight it is. Look at that truck. It's just sitting between the grading and and the barrier wall. And then on the other side of that is, traffic flow in. It's pretty tight. Kudos to all those that are working out there, and thank you. The early East Lake project, why we doing this? All right, there we go. So early East Lake project just sets in place some construction for the next stages of the project. It also takes and starts reconstructing 27th Street. So that's closed right now. If you drive or have driven that, those structures are down. I think we got a picture of that. Yep. So we've removed the deck already. If you go on our website, I believe there's a time lapse of that removal. So yeah, it's moving along. Let's talk a little bit about project communication. So we're trying to over-communicate to both businesses and the public. We don't like surprises, and neither do they. So we've got some champions in that. Sean over there and Jason Roselle are our media experts, giving interviews to the local stations, Fox 6, CBS 58, and WTMJ Radio 620. But really look at this. Since September 1st, on Facebook, we've had over 1.7 million views since that date. So friend us, go to our website, use 511. Yeah, for all your information for this project. Hey, let's talk about DBEs here and DBE participation on this project. So our track record, right, on the zoo interchange, we had over nearly $150 million worth of DBE work on that project alone, and so we have moved forward in providing small business opportunities and DBE opportunities. Here are just some of the elements that on this project that you may consider. Hopefully, you have another niche maybe too that you want to work on, but. Trucking, erosion control, design on the professional service side or construction administration, traffic control, painting are among some of those elements. So the West Leg on the design side alone, our DBE commitment and was nearly $800,000 for the West Leg, and then the stadium in East Lake, nearly $4 million. And here's some of the firms that have been involved, and some of you are here. I see Matthew over there, and on Bloom, and of course Span, and then our primes, our HNTBs of the world, and others that are helping mentor those DBEs on the design side. So thank you so much for that. On the construction end of things, so the West Lake, of the $120 million, $6.6 million are going to DBE. On the construction engineering or construction management side, $3.2 million. On the early East Lake, $4 million, and then construction engineering, another $700,000. And here's some of the firms that have been helping us through these two projects, so thank you. I know Jeff Reedy from Lakeside is here, so thank you, Jeff. So yeah, with that, every good director knows his capabilities, so I'm going to ask Jason and Jeff Owen if you want to just come on up here, and if there's any questions from the audience, we'll take a few, right? One or two, if you have any. If you don't, we'll hand it over to Taylor. So, want to handle that one? Repeat the question.
Yeah, so the question was, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jason Roselle, Southeast Freeways Construction Chief. The question was about DBE goals on the I-94 East-West project. So we did have goals established on those first two construction contracts, the west leg and the early east leg. Pending, I guess, the program and the recertification process, we will be looking at goals for the future contracts, the east leg, stadium, 175, the future projects that Bob was talking about. Goals to be determined and established depending on the final design and the capabilities of those projects and the work types. But we are looking to continue to have goals on the program pending future updates.
Yeah, thank you. Great question. Yeah. Any others? Oh.
Foot wide lanes accommodate like big semis or oversized trucks?
Absolutely. So once again, Jeff Poland from WISDOT. The question, as I heard it, was will the 11-foot lanes that Bob talked about in the cemetery section accommodate large vehicles and other large trucks, right? Is that, okay. So the answer is yes. We've got other sections in the southeast region and throughout the state that have 11-foot wide lanes. We've got 11-foot wide lanes right now coming out of the Marquette interchange as you head west. The Beltline, Madison Beltline, is 11-foot lanes, and I believe the flex lane itself is a 10-foot lane. So we do have other areas. Those are just two examples, but we've looked into that. We get that question a lot, and we believe that, you know, since we've been using those areas and they've been working fine, we've had no issues. For those of you who don't know, a standard lane is 12-foot, so we'd be taking those down to 11, and as Bob said, it's only about a 30-foot section at its narrowest, and then it comes back out. So,
All right,
anything
Tyler,
else?
Take it away. Thank you so much, and thank you, gentlemen.